Plenty of experience there. Delaney now from full back. Comes grandstand side. His target is Paul Northeast, who can't control the ball. And on the South Adelaide half-forward line, we'll have a throw-in.
8-minute mark of the first term. Scores dead level, 1 point apiece. Be a huge upset if South Adelaide could knock over the Magpies. And the form is much improved, South Adelaide. Wood and Gaddy infringing. The free kick going the way of Johnston. Feeds off to Abernathy straight away. Abba shows some great pace. But, oh, high tackle there. The free kick will go to Bickley. Hobbs came in with the Shepherd. So let's see if South Adelaide can take advantage of this. Bickley. Yeah, great first season of league football. Oh, but that ball goes straight to Greg Phillips, and he takes that mark uncontested. Pretty keen to play on Phillips. The handball goes out towards Boyd. Great to watch Port Adelaide in defence. They're very systematic as the ball goes with Northeast. Gets a quick kick away with that awkward kicking style. Players getting there. Brown an opportunity. Couldn't control it. Hines trying to tap it forward. Whitford did well. Marnie went through solidly. Socket off the ground by Brown. It goes to Rowan Smith. He won't miss. He never does. He's a very accurate kick. There's the first goal of the game to Rowan Smith.
It's unfortunate things happen for Port Adelaide there. A rebound kick off the ground by Marnie ended up in Rowan Smith's hands. And a dynamic half-forward player, as Kim said, very rarely misses, seizes every opportunity, feels very comfortable on a running shot. Don't often see him with too many set shots. He's a prolific goal scorer, a player that they relied on heavily in last year's final series and will again this year.
The ball centre field with umpire Colin Ricketts. Gatty to do battle. Well, that bounce favoured the Magpies. In fact, it favoured Hobbs as the ball is pushed out in the direction of Rowan Smith once more. Setri showed good courage. The handball was good to Johnston. Big chap under a bit of pressure, though, but he did well to pick that up cleanly. It'll be Ricketts to bounce once more. Just past the 9-minute mark of the first term. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. South Adelaide 1 point. The ball goes back towards Dewhurst. Valenti, in fact, puts it out there towards Bickley. He couldn't take it. It wasn't Bickley. It was Forbes. The mark's been taken by Schmid. Thought about Page. Now we'll kick to the outer side. Not a bad looking kick. Oh, well, it was good looking as far as distance was concerned. It was terribly misdirected, and this allows Williams to weave his way through a few players. Had the handball out towards Ginniver. His first kick of the game is up high. Setting himself Hodges, or big fist away by Schmidt. He did that well. Smart got the handball out towards Schmid. He kicks towards the boundary line. Marnie will be the first player there. Oh, going through solidly was Bennett. Didn't quite make contact. Oh, clever work for Genza. The short pass goes as far as Whitford. It was off hands. Touched off the boot, I should say. Clever little kick there by Setri looking for Brown. Schmid goes through solidly. Good umpiring here as they allow the play to go. And eventually that's knocked over the line.
And Brown, his neck, he's in a bit of trouble, that boy. He actually hyper-extended his neck, and it didn't look too good. Let's hope he's not too badly hurt. It was a pretty untidy-looking incident. Ginniver's kick forward, well read by Smith, and he's done that well on Hodges a couple of times now. And Brown's in a bit of trouble in the forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Not good signs for the Maggies. Dewhurst with the ball. He's cool, steadies, has a look through the centre of the ground. He finds Steckel up from centre half forward. He finds Kapler. They run through the centre of the ground now towards half forward. The kick too long for Mose. Gaddy off the ground will be a great goal if he gets it. The big fella score for South Adelaide.
Well, incredible goal by Gatty. It was great presence of mind because he wouldn't have been able to get down and pick that ball up. He would have been tackled. There's no question of that. It was just whether he could make clean contact or not. And it was a beautiful soccer off the ground to enable South Adelaide to kick their first goal. Scores are locked away at the 12-minute mark. 1 goal, 1 apiece.
And Brown is coming towards the boundary line. A possibility he might want to see the doctor. He's pretty tough. I don't think he really wants to be in that. In the centre of the ground, Gaddy will do battle against Johnson. Up they go. Johnson this time. Trevina, left foot, out to meet it. It was McIntyre, couldn't take it. Oh, through strongly was Bickley. Gave the ball up. Boyd, not a good handball. Having trouble picking it up. George says, well, let me have that, Greg. You get your hands organised. Williams wants to use it. Goes wide, uses the left foot. Good take by Hutton. Had the rear position, but still managed to grab it. Puts it in high. Hodges in front position. Well spoilt by Smith. Nicely taken, Smart. Tries to push it out as far as Trevina. Hodges takes it, but beautifully read. The only person back is Smith, and he takes an easy mark.
Pick number 4 finds David Kapler. Yeah, Dewhurst short. He ignores that option, puts it up high. Out towards Russell Johnston, though. Or going through nicely was Gatti. He should pick up the crumbs as well, or he loses his footing, the big chap. Close to the boundary line there. Players working hard for the football, but will have a bounce on that outer side. 13 minutes into the first term. Scores locked away, 1-1 apiece. Colin Ricketts, the umpire. He's officiating with Michael Abbott this afternoon. He bounces the ball on the outer side. Johnston won that tap to Ginniver. Oh, clever hands to get that out towards Williams. He goes forward looking for Obbs. Then Obbs takes an easy uncontested mark. Plays on quickly with a handball. That's over towards Wayne Marnie. He lines up the goals, and that'll taste pretty good to Wayne Marnie. He kicks his first, Port Adelaide second.
Hang on to your hat, old son. Pizza Hut's gone and made a $9.90 Aussie pizza. And the $9.90 Aussie pizza is topped with freshly beaten hen fruit, ripper rashers of bacon, and, this'll bring tears to your eyes, fresh onions. And to top all that, the new Aussie pizza in the medium size will only set you back $9.90. At that price, Keating will probably put a luxury tax on it.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Dine in and take away only.
Personal computers. Do you choose MS-DOS, PC Unix, OS2, laptop, desktop, floor standing? Easy. Choose the make that has them all. Hewlett-Packard. Engineered for peace of mind.
Used regularly, Wins Spitfire Plus cleans your car's fuel system while you drive. So next time you fill up, add a bottle of Wins Spitfire Plus. You'll have more power, better fuel economy and easier starting. When it's Wins,
it works. It was just a glance,
But it caught my eye, cruising all alone with the spunk inside. Never thought that I would have fall so fast, but I got my own and I'm in love at last.
gotta get a hold of Nova, 'cause it goes real quick. Gotta get a hold of Nova, never look so slick.
So if you've got a family or you're on a shopping spree,
Gotta get a hold of Nova, the car I love.
It's got a twin cam donk and all the stuff you want. Gotta get a hold of Nova.
It's the car you'll love.
They beat us at Headingley, they beat us at Lord's, they beat us at Old Trafford. It just isn't cricket. We've got to find a way to beat those Aussie blighters.
That's got to be a wide shot.
Distract the batsmen, slip them a mickey, tie their shoelaces together, offer them a knighthood. It would take a miracle.
Australia breaking all the records. The 5th Test commences Thursday, 7:30, live on 9.
Come on, Aussie.
Nevertheless, he's down here and hopefully we'll see a good game. Pretty close at the moment, only 6 points in it, 7 points to 13 as snapping towards goal is Forbes. I think he's kicked it. Bickley, in fact, what a great goal that is. And scores are locked away once more, 2-1 apiece.
Well, it's good Rovers' goal. He took absolutely no time to line up those goals, and on his left foot, and he had the wind right behind him. It's a northeasterly breeze, and took no time at all, as I said, lined it up and belted away at it. Good goal sense. Number 26 in your screen. That's his first and South Adelaide's second as they tie things up here at Football Park.
Yes, tremendous piece of play. Ricketts with the ball. Hasn't been bouncing all that well. That one's a better one. It's taken by Dewhurst. He puts it up high. Abernathy back there. Stood his ground well. Classic mark under pressure. Kick number 5 coming up for Bruce Abernathy, 15 metres as well. Thought about the handball to Phillips. I think Abra will kick. He's one of the best kicks in the competition. That one pulls up into the breeze. Setting himself is smart, and there's a good mark. 15 metres as well. So the umpire's out there to assert their authority. Got a little bit of flack in recent weeks. They do a pretty good job. It's an unenviable task. Out towards Phillips the ball goes. At the back of the pack there is Delaney. Delaney kicks around his body. Opportunity for Kapler. There's the job of looking after Rowan Smith. Valenti with the ball over the head of Trevina. Brown loses his footing. Coming through is Paul Page. He needs support. The handball goes over the top to Forbes. In turn, Tatterson was nearly decapitated. Play on the call. I suppose you could say he ducked into that one. And they don't get any sympathy from umpires when they do that. As Winton snaps a great goal.
Well, South Adelaide just forcing things to happen at the moment, and on that occasion, Winton, again, the same as Bickley, had no time at all to have a look. The goal was unprotected. He turned around, got a boot to it very, very quickly, and it bounced favourably for him, and he got his first. He was actually named to start on a half-forward flank, but Mitten's out there, and he's in the forward pocket. McIntyre's at full forward and Steckel at centre half-forward, which are opposite to the way they were named, but Winton, great start for him.
Gaddy doing the ruck work. He also did the roving as he gets that handball out towards Trevina. He's been pretty prominent in this first term. Looking for McIntyre. Delaney back there. Number 9 versus number 7. It's number 9 with the opportunity, but he held on to number 7, who is Roger Delaney. Free kick to the state full-back. Fiacci, his teammate, handballs the ball back. The great mates off the field as well. Good kick by Delaney. Back there is Gatty, over the head of all players concerned. Gatty tried to tap it down towards Bennett. It shows good desperation. You want to tap that ball out, though. In there working hard, and umpire Michael Abbott blows the whistle to indicate that that was a stalemate situation. As the Port Adelaide, or a few Port Adelaide supporters, get rather enthusiastic in the crowd. Johnston won that tap easily. Brown tried to tap it out to Tregenza. That was clever work by Tregenza. The mark's been taken by Paul Page. Not many options for him. 4 kicks and 2 handballs already for Page. Looking for Gaddy. Couldn't do much with that. Crashing his way through is Trevina. Oh, he was held. That's holding the ball. It was unfortunate. The endeavour was there. Now the play on advantage. Gee, South Adelaide weren't given that type of decision earlier in the game as Schmid takes the ball. He kicks it out wide. Here's a race for pace. Valenti opposed to Hutton. First player there will be Lyndon Valenti, close to the boundary line. In fact, he's gone over the line. He did the right thing. He kept playing until he heard the whistle, even though he'd taken that ball over the line. We'll have a throw in front of the scoreboard, which reads 3-1-19 South Adelaide, 2-1-13 Port.
Off the ground, Whitford towards half forward, and another throw in. So good conditions at Football Park. Despite rain forecast, the oval has drained beautifully. There's a little bit of sun out. There's a strong northeasterly breeze, but more across the ground, or more easterly than northeasterly, I guess. And we've just had it, good information from our resources that it's raining in the northern suburbs. In fact, as I look up over the city of Adelaide, it's very obvious that there's rain. There's a big cloud right in front of us, the left of the city. So Norwood and North would be doused in rain as Geneva goes to goal. Won't be online, though. And that's his first score. Port Adelaide 2 goals, 2-14. They trail South 3-1-19.
As we approach time on in this first term, it's been entertaining football. 19 points to 14 points. Smart to bring the ball back into play. Surveys the options. Not a lot offering. Down the middle might be the best one, and that's the way he goes. It's not a bad kick. Setting himself Trevina. Brown the spoiler. It comes out towards Hines, intercepted by Whitford, then stolen by Hewitt. I don't know if that was intentional or not. The ball now out towards Mitten, that appears to be. He's first there, picks it up cleanly. There's an option up forward in Forbes. Kept that in play well. They're a chance here, South Adelaide, as the ball goes to Bennett. He back turns his way through the pack. Needs the support of Mitten. They work this out okay, the Panthers. They put it up high. Delaney has the set. He's the spoiler. It comes down to Fiacci. Gee, reads the crumbs well, little Georgie, as he puts that ball back to the opposing number 4 in Daryl Hewitt. Kick number 3 for Hewitt, not one of his better ones. Off the side of the boot, up very high. Valenti out there. The ball comes to Bickley. The handball over the top to Page. He's a long way down from his back pocket. He hooks that back to Gordon. He's clean bowled. He should be in England at the moment as the ball goes out from northeast. And the mark is taken by David Hutton. He'd want to be quick. He's about to be run down. The kick out looking for Marnie. Oh, good work by Smart. Done some useful things back there. Oh, Schmid completely overran that ball. Smart in there once more. Tregenza, the handball out towards Setri. The Magpies are a chance if it wasn't for Whitford, who did that brilliantly to kick out wide. Trevino a chance. Close to the boundary line. Tried to keep it in play. That's a dead heat. And that's good umpiring, Colin Ricketts.
Pretty vocal crowd. These players get themselves to their feet. Just
what you gonna do when the clock says you're free?
Let's do it. Williams. Play allowed to go on. Williams looking for a free kick, but it's just not there. And, I think it's very good umpiring. We're very, very critical of soft free kicks, and players looking for them there. There was none given. And that will educate them towards what happens next time there's a pack. They will just look for the football and tough it out. Block off the boot is good. Another throw in centre wing.
We've had nearly 2.5 minutes of time on in this first quarter. And the Panthers lead by 5 points. Not a big lead considering the breeze, but hasn't been a bad effort. Smart in there, working hard. Setri tried to get it out. Well done by Bennett. Tregenza was legged, and that was seen by Colin Ricketts. And well, these Port Adelaide supporters think they're getting a rough deal, but I certainly don't see it that way. There's Tregenza with his 7th kick. He's a class player, he really is. And there's a strong mark taken there by Hodges in front of Schmid. Hodges currently sitting number 2 on the goal-kicking list in the SANFL with 61 goals. The leader is Rudy Mandermaker. He's kicked 68. This is the 2nd kick for Scott Hodges. Will need to be one of his best ones into this breeze. It's a wobbly looking kick. And have a look at that. That floated everywhere. It's through for a point. Port Adelaide move on to 2-3, 15 points. South Adelaide 3-1. We've had 28 minutes of this first quarter.
Mark Bennett was, or Michael Bennett was named in the centre of the ground. He hasn't started there on Stephen Williams. It appears that Valenti is in the centre. We'll try and pick that up for you in a minute. South Adelaide going to attack. They do that well. Forbes in the centre of the ground. 2 handballs. That's his first kick, though. He goes towards the back pocket. Beautifully taken, Tatterson. He breaks through. He has a chance to score now. He can go over the top. He does that. Johnson closes on McIntyre. He gets his kick away, and the Panthers look good.
What you gonna do when the clock says you're free?
Let's do it.
I've gotta have my mates drop in on me. Gotta have my mates drop in. Western. Gotta have my mates drop in. Gotta have my mates drop in for a West End draft. Gotta have my mates drop in for a West End draft.
West End draft. When your mates drop in.
I'll have this copy sent to you as soon as possible.
It stands to reason if you don't have much time, it's definitely time for Balfour's. Balfour's pies, pasties and sausage rolls for all the right reasons.
Got a call from Mr. Fryer, he's bringing round a buyer. The kitchen looked a fright from the little do last night. Although I felt quite sickly, I had to clean it quickly. With spray and wipe all purpose, I cleaned up every surface. Spray and wipes a breeze, 'cause it cuts through toughest grease. The kitchen's sparkling clean, and the buyer's very keen. So thank you. Spray and wipe.
Cold.
Cold. Ooh, and there's people depending on you.
Soldier on, soldier on, soldier on with Cockerell. Soldier on, soldier on, soldier on with Cockerell. Soldier on, you know you're winning the fight when things are going right. Soldier on with Cockerell. Soldier on,
Midday, the laughter and surprises are just what you need.
Conservation these days.
I'm a real man, but I'm not stupid.
Midday with Ray. And next week, Dame Kirita Kanama sings. Crazy Shane Bourne looks at life. Leggy Rhonda Birchmore. Starman John Michael Howson.
Living with a husband she had.
Australia's Miss World entrant, not just a bimbo. Bruce Ruxton and his mate Wellington Lee. Barry Jones, a punting priest.
She should marry an ugly woman.
And Lou Richards. Midday with Ray Martin. Next week on 9.
Setri in your screen there, and Port Adelaide, as I said, their Crummers in the right position. It makes a difference when you've got players at the fall of the ball. There he is again, Setri. Chips one high. Underneath it was Hines. Couldn't do anything. Page there. Williams there. Brown tries to get his hands on it. Does well to get it back in. Hutton around the corner. Be a miracle goal if he gets it. Oh, Port Adelaide, when they're hot, they're hot.
Well, that was incredible. Brilliantly set up by Brown. The handball over towards Hutton. And as Neville called it, it'd take a miracle, and he performed that miracle. The snapshot over the shoulder went through, and that'll certainly be one of the goals of the day. And he's been a very consistent performer, David Hutton, this season from that centre wing. And Port Adelaide all of a sudden taking control here at Football Park. 3 quick goals. They're on 5-5, South Adelaide 4-2.
Johnson again gets the knock. Well, held without the ball is Winton. Forward they go, the Maggies again. Opportunity for Williams. He runs through, gets an open space, can't control the ball. He's interfered with. There'll be a free kick. And Smith rushed his work a little bit there. Williams looked like he'd actually got through the space. Had a chance to go to goal, but the ball didn't sit for him. And Smith expected it to sit a little bit lower. It didn't. He rushed his work and gave away a free kick. Now, there's a reverse punt. That's exactly what Tregenza was going to use previously. That's the way to do it. So Williams kicks his first, and Port Adelaide, with a rush of goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes, have taken the lead convincingly back from South Adelaide at the 15-minute mark.
Yes, Neville, they've kicked 4 goals, 1 in about the last 6 or 7 minutes, and they're starting to look a pretty complete unit at this stage after South Adelaide applying some good pressure, but Williams just proving how valuable front position is. He was awarded the free kick, and he's very talented with his skills. There's no way he would miss from there. Now Port Adelaide have moved on to 6 goals, 5-41, leading South 4-2-26.
Williams and Gaddy. It was being Heathcliff previously. Now that's made a big difference that Gaddy's come back into the ruck. Rowan Smith gets the crumb though. Geneva takes it out of the centre. They go to the footy. Hodges leads the way. Here it'll be a bad second to him, as Hodges chips it back to the front of the square. That's better. Smith watches the ball, and Hines not happy with the kick in, but that's the only place Hodges could go. 6 marks, 9 kicks as he runs away from his opponents. He kicks well. Defensive side of centre wing. Winton runs himself back onto his left foot and into trouble, and back through the centre of the ground, which is dangerous. Luckily for him, his kick is good. He finds Mitten. Wants to go on with it quickly. Gaddy's the target. The big fella's under pressure, but he's beautifully shepherded by McIntyre. Plays on, takes it one-hander. It'll be a great kick if he gets it onto Steckel, or at least to Heath. And, but he was well protected on that occasion by McIntyre as he's running the wrong way, Gordon Gaddy, and McIntyre called him in, protected him, and that's good football.
And that was sensible to play on and get that ball in quickly as Delaney plays to himself. And perhaps Heath should have made a little better of that, or a little more of that opportunity. Well done, Tim Geneva. The guitar playing and singing Rover puts his knife kick forward, but the mark's been taken by Paul Page, and he's been a good performer so far in this game. And he sees 15 metres as well. We've had 18 minutes in the second term. 4-3 plays 6-5. The target is McIntyre, and he takes a good mark. Now they should steer this ball away from Johnston. The lead is provided by Steckel. The mark taken there by Obst. The handball to Abernathy. He changes tact. With kick number 10 out there looking for Fiachi. Player jump on top of the ball there. Bennett. And Fiachi, yeah, I don't think he'd like being in that position. As he hands the ball back to Colin Ricketts. Bounce of the ball on the outer side. The bounce favours Trevina. Does that well. Back onto the left boot. Puts it out, but it's in direction of Greg Boyd. He picks that up cleverly. Has Heath to contend with. Got around him quite cleverly. Kick back towards Bennett. Gaddy back there. He'll need support. Oh, well done, Tregenza, but that ball just going over the line on the outer side. At the 19-minute mark, we'll have a throw-in, and the score reads 4-3-27 South, Port 6-5-41.
Gaddy and Johnson. A bit of an even contest when they've been in ruck together. No result on that occasion. Michael Bennett in there battling hard. Tregenza gets a boot to it. Towards half-forward, Forbes dropped what he should have taken. Tackle without possession by Hodges. No free kick. Whitford through strongly. Marnie gets it out. That is a beautiful handball to Setri. He goes towards goal. Great football, Port Adelaide.
Well, it was well set up. As Neville said, it was great football. Setri balanced himself too when the opportunity came his way. He didn't panic. Balanced, lined up the goals, kept it low and banged it through. And all of a sudden, South Adelaide are in a little bit of trouble here with Port kicking 5 goals in this second term at the 20-minute mark. And Neville, they really do need a few goals.
Well, they do now, Kim. Trailing by 20 points. 4 goals would be very nice just to get them back in front. But Port Adelaide, gee, they when they get rolling, they really roll. Gaddy gets the knock. A big one at that. Ginniver picks up, goes back to Phillips, who's facing the right direction. The half forward. Smart and Setri bring the ball to ground. Brown in there battling hard. Ball comes out from Williams. Hodges fights hard. Williams still there. Smart goes without it. Plenty of pressure. Good tackle on Hodges. Good umpiring. The ball's at centre wing. 4 players rush to it. The first there will be Mitten. Pull northeast with him. Tregenza comes into your screen. And out of bounds again. 20 points of the difference. The lead, Port Adelaide's. 21 minutes gone. Second quarter. You're on 9's Wide World of Sports. Infringement against Gaddy. Johnson with the free kick. The other way, in fact. And it's a Shepherding. To Gaddy. No one on the mark. And when a ruckman gives away a free kick, what you do expect is that position players around you will actually come up and take the mark so you can get back and contest. On that occasion, no one came to help Johnson. Port Adelaide work it out well. The last to touch it was Phillips. He gave it to Obst. He controlled it. Oh, gave it to Hutton, it looked like. Under pressure from Whitford. Brown does the crumbing. Has time to straighten up. Sends it in high. Hines underneath it. 2 grabs, can't take it. Beautifully taken by Setri.
Well, tremendous play with Setri picking up the crumbs very cleanly. He snapped through his second goal. He's kicked 2 in this term. And Port Adelaide looking very sharp now. And the defence of South Adelaide under enormous pressure. But this man is growing in stature every week. As you can see, his confidence growing. He's starting to show aspects of his game that we weren't seeing early in the season. And he's a more than useful player. 2 goals this quarter. Port Adelaide 8-5, pulling right away from South 4-3.
Setri, Ginniver, Obst, Marnie, all getting around the ball a fair bit, all getting in the crumbing position, all working very hard around the ball. South Adelaide really haven't got an answer for them. And Hodges claps that last decision. He was dealt pretty aggressively with previously, but I didn't disagree that with the umpire. Anyway, the ball was his. He gives it up high to Hines. Smith underneath it, beautifully taken by Marnie. Goes back inside, is very sensible football. Ginniver around the corner. There's no stopping this Port Adelaide side. What great football by the Maggies.
Yes, it was a tremendous take by Wayne Marnie. He read that cleverly. He knew he couldn't goal himself from the position he was in. He handballed the ball back to the head of the square. Ginniver was there. He looked for options. Then, like a true rover, he snapped over his shoulder. He split the centre. And the Magpies have kicked 7 goals, 1 in this quarter. It's been an incredible quarter of football. When you consider they've done nearly all this damage in the last 15 minutes, and we're 2 minutes away from time on. 27 points, plays 59.
Ready to come on the ground is Darryl Borlase. And coming off is Stephen Williams. Really hadn't recovered from that incident in the centre of the ground. Abernathy. Forward he goes. What a magnificent kick to full forward. Beautifully spoilt by off the ground. Oh, Adelaide, it's ridiculous ease. Well, it was sensational football by Marnie. At the ball of the ball, Port Adelaide Rovers doing it beautifully.
What's the matter, mate?
That table broke.
Leave it to me. And they thought they'd be stuck there all day.
Nissan Patrol with Nissan's exclusive 2-year warranty. The best four-wheel drive down under.
It's unbelievable.
That's my car.
I'll have this copy sent to you as soon as possible.
It stands to reason if you don't have much time, it's definitely time for Balfour's. Balfour's pies, pasties and sausage rolls for all the right reasons.
Your next question. What is the...
Isn't it time you called about a second TV?
Won't be long, dear. Just wait a minute.
Isn't it time you called about a video recorder? Isn't it time you called Canberra Television? You get the very latest equipment from Canberra Television, but no repair bills, no interest payments, no bond, no worries. So why buy problems when the answers are so easy to rent? Canberra Television. Isn't it time you called?
Who hasn't dreamed of owning a home like this? It's the prize in this year's Telethon Home Lottery, and you could win it. You can buy tickets from Mitre 10 stores, Karana and Real Bottler outlets, Guild Chemists, First National Real Estate offices, Channel 9, coupons in the news, or when you inspect the home at Lot 77 Hedge Road Drive, Salisbury East. Tickets are just $2 and proceeds go to Telethon.
The checkered flag is raised and waiting. The leather-clad gladiators are ready. 10:45 Sunday, live from England, the British 500cc Motorcycle Grand Prix on 9.
117 plays 65. Schmid doing the ruck work opposed to Hodges. Schmid won the tap. Down there is Page. The handball out toward Bennett, who was searching for Gatti but couldn't quite find that man. And we'll have a throw in on the outer wing. 16.5 minutes into this final term. And John Reid, well, the performance hasn't been bad apart from that second term. You really dissect this game. That's when all the damage was done. Whether Port Adelaide have just relaxed a little bit, it's certainly not what John Cahill asked for at three-quarter time. But they haven't played with that same enthusiasm in this final term as Abernathy's 20th kick found Tim Ginniver, who looked very proppy out there. Very proppy indeed. Kick number 17. Oh, Hodges, lazy attempt. Schmid. This standard has really dropped away here as Fiachi nearly dropped the chest mark. Back in towards Rowan Smith. He always uses the football. Back to Fiachi. He's had a million possessions today. Oh, and he weaves his way through the pack in between Heath and Steckel. Kick number 20 finds the waiting arms of David Brown. Number 21 for the Magpies. Puts the ball up high. Oh, front position there. The free kick will go the way of, it appears to be Forbes. Holds back on that kick, but it's nicely placed to find Bickley. Bickley in turn drives it long. Looking for Page. He couldn't take the mark, but the ball's been knocked out of play. We'll have a throw in on the grandstand side at the 18-minute mark. 65 plays, 117. Greg Boyd running back to his position. Hodges doing the ruck work. It went down to David Brown. Page in there. That handball was too quick for Mitten, and the ball goes out of play once more.
18 minutes gone. Final quarter here at Football Park. 117 plays 65. And most of the interest gone out of this game. Kapler. Dewhurst. And the Panthers tried to set up through centre half forward. As Hewitt takes a diving mark. Plays on to Kapler. Oh. Just a definite lack of ability to complete a play there. Tregenza intercepts. There's nobody chasing him. Witten comes to meet him, but he's one and alone to Smith. They set up again. It'll go over the top to Hines. He can go to goal if he wants to, the big fella. Makes no mistake about that and kicks his first.
Well, a mistake by South Adelaide in defence. That allowed Tregenza to take the ball. He had 4 bounces. went down the ground, drew the player in Smith. Smith gave it back to Tregenza. The handball went over the top. It found Hines. He snapped around his body, and David Hines kicked his first goal and Port Adelaide's 19th. So they've kicked 2 goals in this term, and they are well and truly in front of South Adelaide at this stage. 123 points to 65 at the 20-minute mark of this final quarter.
This is a real setback for Reid. He's made some progress with his charges this year, and for them to actually capitulate to a 10-goal second quarter is something that I guess describes the power of Port Adelaide. And it certainly shows the deficiencies that South Adelaide have as well, unequivocally. Phillips. Just can't let players sit 45 metres out by themselves and then not chase them. Now, Winton's the only player that's chased the last 2 players running free with the ball, and players deserve to be whipped for not doing that sort of thing. That is just basic to football. The ground, and 45 metres from goal. Port Adelaide's goal. It's been there most of the day. We'll have another bounce. Johnson couldn't take it. Trevina can. He gave it over to Bickley. Been a good player today. He has McIntyre on his left if he wants him. That's the way it goes. Steckel will be next in line if they want to use him. Now he has 2 McIntyre. He goes towards goal, and he's finished off well. That's his 3rd. South Adelaide's 11th on 9's Widewater Sports.
Well, South Adelaide still matching Port in this final term. They've kicked 2 goals now, as have Port Adelaide. So as we mentioned, it really was only that second quarter when Port kicked 10 goals that they were able to establish such a big lead. And McIntyre kicked 1 in the first. He kicked another 1 in this quarter, and has now kicked 3 goals for the game. 71 plays 123. And if South could get a couple more goals in this approaching time on period, that scoreline possibly won't read too bad.
Smith runs forward, pushes it back to half forward for South Adelaide, but Fiarchi has had a ball back there as well. So's Abernathy, been probably their best player. Regenza's been right up there. Fiarchi, as I said, has been a good player for them. Setri's also played very, very well. Hutton and North East have been good players as well. Rowan Smith's been a trifle quiet on his wing. When I say quiet, he's had 23 touches. Not from a wing, in fact, from half forward, of course. Regenza. Smart. Cleverly. Has a bit of space. The kick isn't good. Gives Mitten no advantage, but he's clever enough to trap it and go on. Read well by Phillips. Not that it was hard to read. He didn't know where else to go. Led the race to the ball. And Obbs works his way out of half back to kick the touch. Abernathy gets the rewards of the hard work of Obbs. Phelps. Damani has to push the ball out. Winton. Probably one of their best, Winton. At least he keeps at it all the time. Valenti. Steckel's kick is high. No one underneath it, except Port Adelaide, of course, and that's the way it's been most of the day.
Boyd in defence. Once more, there's a loose player in the form of Abernathy. He's had 22 kicks and 7 handballs, and South Adelaide genuinely have been quite undisciplined for a major part of this game in regards to chasing and picking up of men. And the sting has gone right out of this game as Bickley goes towards goal. It's a long kick. Oh, brilliant mark there, and it's been paid. Well done, Daryl Hewitt. Well, that's one of the highlights in a pretty lacklustre day of football. But that ball did appear to be going past him, but he extended himself completely, and that was a great one-handed mark. John Cahill wouldn't be pleased with this final quarter. He wanted a 10-goal quarter. They've managed only 2. 12th kick for Hewitt. And in fact, he has kicked his first goal. So the quarter-by-quarter scores really highlight just how lethal that second term was for Port Adelaide, kicking 10 goals, 3. And in the end, they just cruised to victory. 12 goals, 5, 77 to 20 goals, 9, 129. Looking at the leading goal kickers for South Adelaide, Steckel kicked 3, McIntyre and Gatty 2 apiece. And the running players for Port Adelaide were very prominent. Ginniver kicked 4, Marnie 3, Setri 3, Williams and Tregenza 2 each.